So a lot of you guys have asked a really good question in the comments, and I want to answer the question. And the question is, what was your fiance's relationship with his mom like before you guys started dating? That's a really good question, and we're going to talk about it real quick. The real answer is, I don't really know. Him and I were friends for years before we started dating. There's not really a whole lot I know about his relationship with his mom before we started dating, though, because I had never met her until we were actually dating. However, right before Tanner and I moved in together, I had a bit of a concern about his mom. Him and I were moving in together, and she still had access to his bank account, and I didn't really like it. She got mad at him for buying me a gift one day. I was at work, he bought me a purse, it was sweet, but she got mad at him for spending the money on that, and that's how I found out that she was in his bank account. The only reason I brought it up to him was because we were about to live together. Had he decided that he wanted to let her continue to have access to his bank account, that was totally his choice, because at that point in time, his money was still his money and my money was still my money. We hadn't quite merged yet. So if he wanted that, that was fine. I just wanted to ask about it because I thought it was strange. When I brought my concerns up to him, I made sure that I brought it up in a manner that I was just asking. I didn't want to be intrusive and I didn't want to be rude. I was just curious as to why his mom still had access to his bank account, given that he was about to move in with me. And so I brought it up to him and I asked him about it, and his response let me know everything that I needed to know about his relationship with his mom. He responded and said, "I'm so tired of every girl that I date having a problem with my mom." Let's unpack that. I remember looking at him and saying, "Tanner, do you not hear the problem with that? So you think that there's something wrong with every single girl that you've dated and that there's nothing wrong with your mom? Your mom is the only common factor in all of those relationships. These are all different women with different views, values, morals, and they all think the same thing." The look on this man's face while he was processing that information, he looked like a lost and confused and terrified puppy, because he was realizing that there wasn't something wrong with every girl that he had dated. There was something wrong with the way his mother had treated them. And that can't be something that's easy to process. That's a lot of information to try and take in at one time, and he was so confused. I think he didn't see it before because nobody had ever presented it to him that way. Every other girl had ever just said, "Oh, your mom's this or your mom's that." They didn't explain to him why it wasn't okay, why it wasn't appropriate. And I think once he heard that, he realized that that's what they were trying to tell him all along. So how his relationship was with his mom, I have no idea. But I know that every other girlfriend that he's had also had a problem with his mom.